After my sister's wedding and her move to another city, I found myself alone at home with my mother. Although I had always appreciated how she raised me, her recent behavior left me feeling frustrated and disappointed. Despite providing her with financial support, she unexpectedly started pushing me away. It hurt, especially because I knew that my sister and her husband had played a part in her decision. I couldn't help but harbor resentment toward them, promising myself that they would regret it. My name is Olivia, and at 27 years old, I'm caught in a tough situation. My father passed away a few years ago, and my older sister, Emily, who is 9 years older than me, left home after getting married. That left just me and my mother, and truthfully, living with her had become increasingly difficult. When I started working, my mother quit her part-time job and chose a more relaxed lifestyle at home. As time went on, she started treating me like a personal servant. Every day I would hear, "Sam, is dinner ready yet?" Or, "I need some extra cash this month. Just send me $300. The list of demands never seemed to end. Many people told me that I should move out if I was unhappy, and I thought about it often. But after my father's death, my mother had no one else, and Emily had made it clear that she and her husband, James, weren't willing to take her in. Despite my growing frustration, I couldn't bring myself to leave her alone. However, there were limits to what I could tolerate. Just today, I reached my breaking point. "Mom, did you take money from my wallet again?" I asked, unable to keep my emotions in check. "What an awful thing to accuse me of," she huffed. "I just needed some clothes, so I borrowed it for a while." "Borrowed? You never pay me back. Can you at least ask before taking my money?" I retorted, feeling my anger build. Her face twisted with irritation. "Do you even realize who you have to thank for the life you have? I raised you. You're so ungrateful." I exhaled sharply. "I know I owe you, Mom, but that doesn't mean you can keep taking from me without asking. You should be taking care of me now that you're earning. Don't complain about just a few hundred." Every argument went the same way. Anytime I tried to set boundaries, she would say the same things. "I raised you. You owe me." It always left me speechless. The truth was I had a decent salary. Even if I gave her a large sum every month, it wouldn't ruin me financially. But something inside me told me that I couldn't let this cycle continue forever. Then one day everything changed. After a long day at work, I came home to an unexpected sight. Emily and James were sitting in my living room. I hadn't seen them since my father's funeral, and we hadn't kept in touch since then. "Hey Olivia, it's been a while. You still have that gloomy attitude, huh?" Emily smirked. Her words took me straight back to our childhood, where she had always belittled me, and it seemed marriage hadn't changed her one bit. "Why are you here?" I asked, crossing my arms. Emily shrugged. "Do I need a reason to visit, Mom?" I clenched my jaw. "This isn't our family home anymore. Dad's house was sold years ago. I'm the one paying rent here." Emily waved her hand dismissively. "Don't be so uptight. We're finally all together again as a family." Before I could respond, James chimed in. "Honestly, Sam, with that attitude, you'll never get married." I bit my tongue, knowing this was exactly why I had distanced myself from them. Then my mother spoke up, her voice sweet yet firm. "Actually, Olivia, I've been thinking, maybe it's time you move out." I froze. "What?" I asked, taken aback. She smiled. "Emily and James are planning to start a family, and I'd like to go live with them for a while. They suggested it." My chest tightened. "So you want me to move out so you can live with them? After everything I've done for you?" My mother had no shame. "Will you be fine on your own? You're independent now." That was it. I was done. I let out a laugh, not out of humor, but because the situation had become so absurd. "All right," I said, grabbing my coat. "You want me out? Fine. But just so you know, I've been covering all the rent and bills. The lease is in my name, so when I move out, you're on your own." Their faces fell. "Wait, what?" my mother stammered. I shrugged. "Guess you'll have to find somewhere else to live. Maybe Emily and James can take you in after all." Emily's mouth opened, but no words came out. James looked away, suddenly interested in the floor. I walked out that night, leaving them all in stunned silence. For the first time in a long time, I felt free. Feeling guilty? Not at all. It was clear from her comment that, like Emily, James was also insensitive. The more I thought about it, the more I disliked them. I retreated to my room after eating dinner alone, while my mother, seemingly happy to see Emily after so long, kept chatting away with a smile on her face. It seemed like the three of them occasionally gossiped about me. Since that day, for some reason, Emily and James started visiting my apartment more frequently. And there was one thing that really bothered me. Did they think this was their home? They were way too relaxed in my space. Hey, Emily, what's the deal? I finally confronted her. This is my place, you know. What about it? She shot back. You're so annoying. What does it have to do with you? Emily replied, her tone sharp. I'm here because I'm concerned about Mom and want to visit her often. You've never reached out since Dad's funeral, I shot back, irritation clear in my voice. That's none of your business, I snapped. Speaking of which, I'm starving. Cook something and do it quickly. Seriously? This was my place, wasn't it? Why were they lounging around as if they had a claim on it? I want a delicious cake, Olivia. Buy me one, James suddenly demanded. To my surprise, even my mother joined in, chiming in with, you just got back from work, right? So you're free. Go buy it for us, lazy girl. James, who had previously avoided my mother like the plague, was now seemingly getting along with her. And Emily, her usual arrogant self, was acting like the eldest daughter who had every right to act as if she owned the place. Seeing them together, I realized they were definitely planning something I wasn't sure about yet, but I knew it wasn't good. Days passed, and eventually, Emily and James's scheme became clear. Olivia, I've reached my limit living with you, my mother suddenly declared. I've decided to end this life with you. What do you mean by that? I asked, confused by her abruptness. Exactly what I said. I can't stand living with someone as lazy, slow, and unattractive as you anymore, she explained coldly. I'm moving in with Emily and James. You're going to live with them? I repeated her words in shock. The couple who had always rejected the idea of living with my mother were suddenly all for it. What was going on? At that moment, Emily and James showed up. Emily, what's going on? I asked. You always said you'd never live with Mom. Now suddenly this. Of course, it's natural for the eldest daughter to live with her mother, Emily responded, looking down on me with an air of superiority. Don't tell me you have a problem with it. If you can't live with Mom, then I began, my eyes narrowing in disbelief. No, that's not it, I cut in. But now it seems fine for Mom to live with you guys? James, who had once been against the idea, was now on board. Why the sudden change? I asked, narrowing my eyes. You're so annoying. Anyway, Mom's decided to live with us. We don't need you anymore. Just leave. After all this time, they had left everything regarding Mom to me. I couldn't help but feel disgusted by my sister's arrogance. It was clear that Emily and James had something underhanded in mind, but no matter how much I despised them, my mother was still my only parent. I wasn't about to let them get away with this. Mom, I said, stepping forward, isn't it obvious something's going on here? Emily and James haven't contacted us once before this. Before I could finish, my mother cut me off sharply. What are you talking about? If anyone's acting strange, it's you. My heart sank. Ha! Those who just leech off their parents should leave, she spat. The moment those words left her mouth, any remaining affection I had for her evaporated. How dare she say that to me after everything I had done for her? But this would be the last time they could mock me. Soon, they would experience the consequences, and they better enjoy this moment while they could. I began to plan my revenge. I'll leave right now, I declared, my voice steady, looking directly at my sister, her husband, and my mother. They exchanged smirks. Emily spoke first, her voice dripping with satisfaction. Olivia, you're finally leaving. Mom, you must be so happy. I truly am, my mother beamed, her words full of delight. Now I can live with Emily and James. I'm on top of the world. From now on, I'll be the one taking care of Mom. Thank you, Emily, James added with a grin. Oh, thank you too, James, my mother chimed in, her voice oozing with pleasure. They continued their petty conversation, patting each other on the back like they had won some great victory. I struggled to hold back laughter, but I couldn't let them see that I was amused. To carry out my revenge perfectly, I had to stay low for now. From that day on, Emily and James were in my apartment constantly. As for me, it was like I didn't even exist, or rather, they treated me as if I had never existed in the first place. But I wasn't bothered. It was the perfect opportunity for me to prepare for my departure. A week later, moving day arrived. I walked into the living room, and Emily smirked. Today's the day we part ways, Olivia. We'll be taking care of Mom from now on, so you don't have to worry. Thank you, I replied calmly. I'm leaving Mom in your hands, okay? Something in my response seemed to unsettle Emily. Just then, my mother approached me with a smug smile. I hope you get married soon, Olivia. It would be such a shame to stay single your whole life. You know, people would think you're a loser. James chuckled and Emily stifled a laugh. I replied just as calmly as before. That's true. From now on, I've decided to live just for myself. I no longer have to take care of you, right? My mother's face twisted with annoyance. Just stop talking and get out. I never asked you to look after me. I shrugged. I'm leaving anyway. Ding dong. Oh, looks like they're here, I said, turning toward the door. The movers from the moving company I'd hired stood outside. As they began carrying out my belongings, I pointed to the living room. Oh, and please move all the appliances and furniture in these rooms too. The three of them froze in shock. Wait, what? I continued calmly, giving the movers clear instructions. The TV, the fridge, the microwave. Oh, and this cleaning robot too. Also the sofa, dining table, and the bed. Please move everything. My mother finally snapped. What do you think you're doing? Stop this immediately. I turned to my mother, unfazed by her words. What do you mean? Am I doing something strange? Don't play dumb. Taking all the appliances and furniture from this house. Have you lost your mind? James, now red-faced with anger, approached me aggressively. Listen to Mom. How do you expect us to live without any furniture or appliances? You have no right to take everything. Leave it here and just go. My mother and Emily were squawking in front of me, completely losing their composure. I took a deep breath and smirked. It was time to set the record straight. Are you getting the wrong idea? I asked, my tone cold. Everything in this apartment, including the apartment itself, the appliances, and all the furniture, belongs to me. James was quick to interject. This is Mom's place, right? Don't mess with me. All the furniture and appliances were bought with Dad's inheritance, weren't they? I knew it. He was an idiot. As expected, he misunderstood everything, thinking that my mother had funded the apartment with my father's inheritance. That must have been why he and Emily were so eager to move in with her. Emily, aren't you misunderstanding something? I turned to my sister. I bought everything in here. I've been giving Mom a monthly support of $2,200. Their faces stiffened. The losses you're talking about? You just wanted to live with Mom, didn't you? You thought you'd inherit Dad's money one day, huh? James scoffed. What are you talking about? Mom used up all of Dad's inheritance a long time ago. I watched as Emily's expression shifted, her confidence evaporating. She nervously glanced at our mother, whose face was pale and downcast. Mom, please explain, I demanded. You told us you bought all the appliances here. Well, I was just trying to look good, she mumbled. Emily snapped. What do you mean by that? We only moved in with you because we thought there was an inheritance from Dad. If there's no inheritance, what's the point of living together? Wait, what are you saying? My mother stammered. Didn't you say you'd take care of me because you're the eldest daughter? Emily folded her arms. I was just trying to be nice. I lied so we could live together. Upon realizing there was no inheritance, Emily was furious, and my mother was visibly shaken. She had been duped by her daughter and son-in-law. What a hopeless family. My mother should have suspected something when Emily and James, who hadn't been in touch for years, suddenly proposed living with her. If Emily had been paying attention, she would have known that there was no money left from Dad. As I watched them crumble, James suddenly had an idea. I've got it, he said, his voice brightening. It would be great if Olivia could live with us again. My mother and Emily immediately perked up. That's right, Olivia. You should live with us after all, my mother pleaded. Yes, Olivia. I really do need you, Emily added. Seeing their drastic change in attitude, their desperation spoke volumes. They were only speaking for their own convenience. I dismissed them immediately. What are you even saying? Don't make me laugh. There's no way I'd live with trash like you, I said, my voice cold. I've decided to live only for myself from now on. Whatever happens to you, I couldn't care less. Why don't you all just happily ruin your lives together? The three of them, my mother, my sister, and James, seemed completely drained of energy. They sat down as if their knees had given out, staring blankly ahead. Goodbye, I said, and closed the front door. In just 2 weeks, the lease for the apartment would end. Since it was under my name, they would likely be forced to leave. But that was no longer my concern. About a week after I moved out as expected, I received a call from my mother. Olivia, please, I can't live like this. Come back. There's no way I'm coming back. Why don't you have that idiotic couple take care of you? They quit their jobs and moved here because they thought I still had your father's inheritance. They really are terrible people, aren't they? I scoffed. I don't even feel like helping anymore. I'm not interested in a family that only thinks about money. But Olivia, all I have is you, my mother said, pleading. Mom, I'm busy. Can I hang up now? Before she could finish, I ended the call and blocked her number. I no longer felt the urge to help her, especially not now. Rumor had it that my mother, Emily, and James were evicted from the apartment after that incident. They ended up spending all of Emily's remaining savings to move into a shabby apartment. My mother still didn't work, and she argued with James almost every day. Emily was the only one working tirelessly from dawn until dusk, just to make ends meet. As for me, after distancing myself from them, I was able to save more money and use it for my own needs. After all the sacrifices I had made in the past, I was finally free to lead a life that made me happy. I had walked away from a life of being used, manipulated, and taken for granted. It wasn't easy, and I won't pretend that I didn't hesitate, but in the end, choosing myself was the best decision I ever made. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in a situation where people only cared about what they could take from you? Have you ever been the one who always gave, always sacrificed, only to be discarded the moment you set boundaries? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you've ever faced something similar. Your words might help someone else find the courage to stand up for themselves just like I did. If you were in my shoes, what would you have done? Would you have walked away sooner? Would you have confronted them differently? Or do you think there was another way to handle it? Tell me how you see it. I want to know how you would have handled a family that only cared when they thought money was involved. And if you have any advice for someone struggling to break free from toxic family dynamics, drop it in the comments below. Sometimes a few words of wisdom from someone who has been through it can be life-changing. Most importantly, I hope my story serves as a reminder. You don't owe anyone your peace, your happiness, or your financial stability just because they're family. You deserve to be treated with respect. You deserve relationships that are based on love, not obligation or guilt. If you're stuck in a situation where people only value you for what you can give, I want you to know that it's okay to walk away. It's okay to choose yourself. And when you do, you might just find the freedom and happiness that you've been denied for so long.